okay, is far beyond our expectation.
It's the safest way of owning a house.
My mouth is full of appreciation to Federal Mortgage Bank.
The goal of the Federal Mortgage Bank of Nigeria is to ensure that affordable homes and mortgages are provided to all Nigerians, irrespective of where they are in Nigeria. That is why the bank has tried its best to fund and deliver projects in every state of the country. Aside providing houses, the bank puts in efforts to ensure that other products and services reach the people in every state of the Federation. So tonight on the program, we'll make a stop in Bauchi State to take a look at what the FMBN has delivered in the state. This alongside other segments such as Dream Come True and our Frequently Asked Questions segment. Thank you for joining us on yet another edition of the program, Everyone Deserves a Home. I am Zuleyhat Belugubir, your regular host. We'll take a short break, and when we return, the program will begin fully. Do stay tuned.
The attention of Federal Mortgage Bank of Nigeria, FMBN, has been drawn to the activities of one Ugu North Partnership operating a website called NHF Check. The firm requires members of the public to pay the sum of 2,500 naira to assist them check their National Housing Fund NHF eligibility and 3,500 naira for consultation to get support and guidance in processing NHF refund to retirees. In view of this, the Federal Mortgage Bank of Nigeria hereby disassociate itself from the activities of this firm and wish to advise the general public to always use either the bank's website, branch offices of the bank nationwide, or the accredited primary mortgage banks (PMBs) for all inquiries and guidance. The general public should note that FMBN has not appointed Ugu North Partnership to render any services to the public on its behalf. Consequently, any individual, group or organization that transacts any business with the firm in respect to National Housing Fund NHF does so at his or her own risk. Signed, FMBN Management.
Welcome back from the break. We begin with the news from the diary of the Federal Mortgage Bank.
The Federal Mortgage Bank of Nigeria, the Real Estate Developers Association of Nigeria, REDAN, and Family Homes Funds Limited have taken the initiative to partner for the delivery of the Rural Urban Housing Initiative RUHI 774. RUHI is an initiative of the Real Estate Developers Association of Nigeria, REDAN, to build 100 housing units in each of the 774 local governments of the Federation. Speaking at a meeting between the three partners, Managing Director, Federal Mortgage Bank of Nigeria, Architect Ahmed Dengiwa, disclosed that the purpose of the meeting is to open discussions on the project and map out ways to make it successful. He said that a draft memorandum of understanding had been drawn and the FMBN has made its observations and inputs on the document.
Some of the issues we identified for further engagement include construction financing, guarantees and repayment. Quite well from the MOU which you have seen, The Family Funds Fund will provide the financing for the construction. The Redan will do the construction and provide the expertise for the construction, while FMBN will provide the mortgage side of it for the purchase of to Nigerians. So this MOU has to address this clearly on the issue: who will do the construction finances, and then who will do the repayment. How will the repayment be? Project delivery period and timelines need to be clearly stated in order for us not to be very ambiguous. The other issue which of much concern to us is the warehousing delivery of the projects. We want to know what does that entails for FMBN to do the warehousing of the project.
Bengiwa recommended that a committee be set up from all the three parties to further look into the draft in order to produce a workable document that will suit all parties involved. Speaking earlier, the Redan president, Alhaji Aliyu Wammaku, mentioned that the partnership was necessary because all three partners share a peculiar goal, which is providing affordable houses to Nigerians.
If you look at it, all the three of us, when we come together, it's a win-win situation for everybody. We will be able to provide the houses. Federal Mortgage Bank will warehouse these houses for NHF contributors. And our big gladiator here will finance the project. In this end, there is no need for us to come for any loan, housing loan to Federal Mortgage Bank, but to provide houses for you so that we'll be able to give it either on rent-to-own program or in any other program. If we warehouse the houses, it is the best known interest of Federal Mortgage Bank to do that.
Also speaking, Managing Director, Family Homes Funds Limited, Femi Adewole, reiterated the need for all three parties to work together.
The fund is fully committed to working with all of the partners, the Federal Mortgage Bank and Redan, and any other partners as required from time to time in making a success of this proposal. We believe fully that the ambition that we have can only be achieved when we work and all of the partners work in partnership. And I think that this program is one of such that has the potential not just for accelerating housing delivery, but actually showing what can be done when each of the key players along the chain work together.
The Managing Director, Federal Mortgage Bank of Nigeria, Architect Ahmed Bengiwa, has assured the Nigerian Army of the bank's commitment to make mortgages for the Army more available and accessible. He stated this during a courtesy visit to the bank by the Group Managing Director of the Nigerian Army Welfare Limited. Bengiwa commended the Nigerian Army for its timely remittances to the bank. He noted that because of that, the bank has disbursed over 246 million naira in mortgages for the Army.
Apart from this, the bank has so far disbursed also another 59.7 million to 62 beneficiaries under the home renovation loan product for members of the Nigerian Army. So FMBN is committed to do more to what we are doing currently. Yes, you should know that Nigerian Army Limited, being the housing outfit of the Nigerian Army, is of considerable interest to FMBN, and will continue to support you and make access to mortgage loans and other category of FMBN facilities easier for the officers and men of the Nigerian Army.
Group Managing Director, Nigerian Army Welfare Limited, Major General Adetokunbo Fayemiwo, while stating the purpose of the visit, commended the FMBN for its giant strides in recent times. He then called on the FMBN for collaboration to deliver houses to the Nigerian Army and the armed forces at large.
In recent time, we must thank the appropriate superior authority. The income of members of the Nigerian Army has been enhanced, and we felt we can come back to the drawing board again take advantage of the income, the total income, both the regular and the non-regular, and see how we can come together and do some form of calculation to see how we can access mortgage finance. We're also aware of some other facilities that we can also access at this end.
Group Head, Risk Management Group of the bank, Mr. Kabir Yagboyaju, who also spoke at the occasion, said that the bank will readily accredit any primary mortgage institution the Army provides for easier packaging of loans. The Managing Director, Federal Mortgage Bank of Nigeria, Architect Ahmed Ngiwa, has reiterated the bank's commitment to make houses affordable for its customers in Zamfara State. He was speaking during a courtesy visit paid to the management of the bank by a delegation from the Zamfara State government to seek ways of collaborating with the bank in making houses available and affordable to the citizens of the state.
Zamfara State Housing Corporation, they came to Federal Mortgage Bank of Nigeria with their own designs, with their own bill of quantities, with their own contractors. They said we should give them loan to build houses, which we did. And so they already established the selling prices of these houses. Because usually when you bring if you bring 5 million naira the cost of this house, all we add to it is the 10% the cost of funds that we do. You should know that if you go to a market, commercial mortgage, they'll give you at almost 25%. But because we want these houses to be at affordable prices, that's why we give them that 10% interest rate.
Ngiwa urged the Zamfara State government to make efforts towards resolving all issues so as to enable the state enjoy more projects by the bank. Head of Service, Zamfara State, Alhaji Ahmed Ibrahim, who led the delegation while speaking, appreciated the FMBN, particularly the state office, for its commitment and support, especially in making sure that contributors in the state benefit from the scheme. He then called on the FMBN to look into issues around pricing, especially as the state is faced with security challenges.
Those challenges could not be able to allow us to afford what we inherited as liability from the government side. So based on this, we decided to come and seek the management of Federal Mortgage Bank and plead on behalf of the civil servants, on behalf of the state, on behalf of the state government, to see whether you can be able to look into this and come to agreements on the best way to attend to these loans so that we can start offsetting it as soon as possible.
If you're just joining us, you're watching Everyone Deserves a Home, a program coming your way from the Federal Mortgage Bank of Nigeria. Coming up next on the program is Measuring the Impact, and this time our stop will be at Bauchi State to see how much the bank has delivered in the state over the years. Keep watching.
Statistics have it that Bauchi State has an estimated population of over 6.5 million people. Just like all other states in the country, Bauchi State has its own housing challenges. As a state with a large state government workforce, Bauchi State is 100% compliant to the National Housing Fund scheme. Currently, over 100,000 state and local government workers in the state are contributing to the NHF scheme in Bauchi State. Because there is a notable informal sector presence in the state, the Bauchi State branch office of the bank has its target set on the informal sector and private sector, and that is why the bank engages on sensitizations on a monthly basis. Since the mandate of the FMBN is in providing houses for its contributors, the FMBN has funded and completed some estates in the state. They include Terra Quest Housing Estate providing 398 housing units, FMBN Mobile Housing Estate Bauchi State providing 165 housing units, These houses have been completed and off-taken with all necessary infrastructure in place.
If you look around again, you see we have achieved about 70 to 80% of the road networks around the site. We have actually done the electrification. You can see that some of the services drop are already being carried out. Then we are equally working on the water system too, trying to see how we can work on the external reticulation of all the houses around. Internally, everything had been done, including fittings. So what we are, the process, the level we are now is the external reticulation, which is ongoing too.
Quality delivery is a priority for the FMBN and its developers. There is no room for compromise.
If you look at the buildings closely, you notice even they are mass housings, we still did not compromise quality. We followed standard. We actually carried out the normal soil tests and tried as much as possible to make these buildings adapt to the environmental, to the environment generally.
Bauchi State is one of the few states where the rent-to-own scheme of the FMBN is thriving. Currently, there are about 100 beneficiaries of the rent-to-own scheme in Bauchi State. Many beneficiaries of the scheme in the state expressed delight for becoming homeowners through mortgaging.
I was made to pay an equity, and I was also to own the home through a primary mortgage institution. Even though that has not worked out with the primary mortgage institution, but then there's an arrangement that the Federal Mortgage Bank has introduced, which is rent to own. So for now, this is the process I will use to acquire this home.
The mortgage system to me is working because I'm a witness and I saw it. Because this is the easiest way through which you will get house and pay gradually and own it. Unless, as a civil servant, there is no anywhere you can get money unless if you were corrupt. Where will you get 2 million, 3 million to build houses? Unless you make contribution and you build it gradually, then doing that you'll be living in the rent house. See, that's the problem. But this one is a special program. It's better you're inside and you're fixing the house, even if it is not up to your taste. You're fixing it gradually than you're staying in the rent and you're building a house, so you're spending money both sides. So I will encourage Nigerians, more especially civil servants.
Aside developing estates, another area the FMBN makes its impact felt is through the home renovation loan. About 1.5 billion naira has so far been approved for the home renovation loan, with about 1 billion naira already disbursed. Another area the Bauchi State branch is working to make its impact felt is through the individual construction loan. The branch hopes to achieve this by collaborating with the Ministry of Lands and Survey for easier availability of titles. Bauchi State is, however, yet to tap into the cooperative loan product, but it is focusing on the product to meet the needs of NHF contributors in the informal sector.
The attention of Federal Mortgage Bank of Nigeria, FMBN, has been drawn to the activities of one Ugu North Partnership, operating a website called NHF Check. The firm requires members of the public to pay the sum of 2,500 naira to assist them check their National Housing Fund NHF eligibility and 3,500 naira for consultation to get support and guidance in processing NHF refund to retirees. In view of this, the Federal Mortgage Bank of Nigeria hereby disassociate itself from the activities of this firm and wish to advise the general public to always use either the bank's website, branch offices of the bank nationwide, or the accredited primary mortgage banks (PMBs) for all inquiries and guidance. The general public should note that FMBN has not appointed Ugu North Partnership to render any services to the public on its behalf. Consequently, any individual, group or organization that transacts any business with the firm in respect to National Housing Fund (NHF) does so at his or her own risk. Signed, FMBN Management.
Glad to have you back. Time now to hear from another beneficiary of the National Housing Fund and how her dreams became a reality, thanks to the Federal Mortgage Bank of Nigeria. Don't go away.
The payment process is quite flawless.
It was unbelievable because I didn't know that they have such a scheme existing in Nigeria.
Is it true that I will get the house? No, why not? You met all the requirements, so you'll get it.
The joy of ownership is wonderful.
This 3-bedroom apartment is at the newly constructed Woodhill Estate in Kuje, the Federal Capital Territory. It is owned by Miriam Amos. A level 10 civil servant with the federal government, Miriam is one of the beneficiaries of this FMBN funded cooperative housing project.
Before I got this place, we were paying rent. I was in Dugbe. We were paying rent. I think I've been there for almost 3-4 years, and then we're paying rent. And you know, everybody wants this security of having your own, and then because before you know it, a year rolls by, you're thinking of paying another rent. So it wasn't easy at all.
Miriam got a loan from the Federal Mortgage Bank of Nigeria to the tune of 4.5 million naira. She had to be a member of a cooperative society, which then identified with a developer for the project.
When we don't have the cash to buy the property, he now suggested that we get a loan from Federal Mortgage Bank. So we paid the equity, and then we were able to source the loan from FMBN. Actually, we thought it was going to take longer than the time it took, but we were surprised when they called us to go fill in the necessary documents.
The 3-bedroom apartment has lots of space with good facilities to go with. The family is yet to fully move into the house, but they do have plans to turn this into a great haven. For Miriam, it is perfect for her family.
You know, I can now call myself a landlady now in Abuja. I'm not paying rent to anyone again.
Our question for the week is, how does the bank profile the informal sector or self-employed for contributions?
The nature of their income may not be regular. Sometimes, maybe in 1 month, they may get a huge sum of money, and in some months, they may not get anything. So in such thing, what we normally do is to sit down with them, look at the stream of their income, discuss with them what will be their average income for a period. Then we'll take that average and then be using it as their income, so that we don't use where they have higher income coming in, and then at the end of the day, some months may come and they may not get what they are expecting. So that's why we take an average. We look at the minimum, we look at the highest, and then arrive at an average in consonance with the self-employed himself, because we have to sit down with him and discuss with him, so that he will give us a range that, no, there is no way I can get less than so amount in a month.
And on this note, we draw the curtains on this edition of the program, Everyone Deserves a Home. Do well to keep a date with us again next week, same time on this same station for another edition of the program. Visit the FMBN website on www.fmbn.gov.ng for more information on how you can own your own home. Until next week, it's bye from here. Good night and stay safe.